Hey guys, you're watching One and Only. My name is AJ, and we are back on a... Let me clear my throat. We are back on another episode. Voice crack, wow, of ZONOCraft, Season 2, Episode 60-something, I'm sure. I have popped into the nether. Where is my stuff? Here we go, look. I ended up getting nearly 4.5 stacks, oh, well, with some left over from last episode of glowstone, so we can make some more redstone lamps. I also got to level 31, and then I realised at the blaze farm that we had 31 levels. So I was like, well, I better stop then, and then we can enchant something, at least be a little bit efficient about it. Let's make some more of these glowstone lamps. So first thing we also need to do is, a few episodes ago when we done the dog montage episode, we ended up, wow, that's a lot, that's good. We ended up, in fact, we don't have enough redstone. I got some redstone here. What is this? Silk touch. I've got a fortune one somewhere. Probably in the blacksmith. What was I saying? Something about last episode. Yeah, or not last episode, a few episodes back when we killed all the dogs. We still haven't actually, like, put a grave down for them. So we should do that, probably later on in the episode. I think it's in here, isn't it? No, I've got a shovel in there. One of these must be fortune then. Don't go in the fire. Fortune 2. That'll have to do, I suppose. Fortune 2 and 42 redstone. Okay. So let's break this up. Let's get some more redstone. I don't know how much we're actually going to be able to get out of this. But we definitely need some more, that's for sure. We got this from the caving not so long back. Bunk, 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 bunk. Come on, come on, come on, come on. And what else was I going to do today? Oh, yes. I wanted to talk to you guys about something that I talked about a few episodes ago. So, oh yeah, and with the 30 levels from last episode, I done a pickaxe. We got Silk Touch, Unbreaking 3, Efficiency 4. So that's a pretty good pickaxe. It's not a bad pickaxe. I would have liked to have got Fortune 3, but it doesn't really matter too much, does it? We'll grab this redstone. So yeah, a few episodes back, I think before the dog killing montage, I talked about a car accident that happened outside our house. And it was a pretty bad car accident. We get a lot of car accidents, but that's the one that sort of sticks out to me in my head whenever I think about some of the accidents that we've had here. And I was really surprised about the response from you guys. You guys were very grown up about it. And you know, you understood, and you were even concerned about the people, which I didn't really expect. I didn't really expect people on the internet to care too much. It was just a bit of a story I could tell you. So my voice, I haven't been up too long. It's been a busy day yesterday, so I'm sort of a bit boggy-eyed at the moment. There we go. That was a little bit more redstone. So yeah, and I thought I'd answer a few questions that people had about that accident. And people asked me... hang on, I got to sneeze. Choo! 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 I tried to keep the sneezes as quiet as possible so I don't blow your head off with the microphone. Have we got everything that we need? I think so. Alright, let's go and do that first. We'll just put some more lights down like we were doing last episode. Just while I'm chatting, I'm just going to take this episode to be a bit of a chatty episode and to continue on from those stories. So the main question was something that I actually forgot about while I was telling the story, and it was, how are the other people in the other car? Because obviously we talked about how damaged and how devastating it was for the people that caused the accident and how they ended up, but I completely forgot to, and I'm sorry about that, but I completely forgot to mention about the people that had nothing to do with it, but were just caught up in the accident. They couldn't help but hit them, and we haven't heard from them since. So I hope that they all made a full recovery. You know, I'm pretty sure the injuries weren't big enough to like be life-threatening or anything like that. However, the woman, it was a rather large woman, weight-wise, in the other car. That's why we're gonna have those lights. A rather large woman, and usually, like, weight doesn't matter at all, but in this case, basically, the car T-boned, like, if, let's say this wall is the car that turned right in front of him, and this is, like, the driver's side door. the other car ploughed straight into the side of them, and it hit him so hard because it was at like 60 miles an hour, so that's like 80 kilometers an hour, something like that. And it pushed the front end of the car all the way in, and it actually hit so hard that the dashboard and the steering wheel and the pedals and, you know, all of that stuff on the inside actually pushed into the woman and trapped her legs, because like the dashboard went into the woman and really damaged her legs up, and it wouldn't have been very nice to be in that situation. And you know, I'm not saying that if she was lighter or thinner that she would have got away better, because the impact, even I, and I'm a very thin person, but even I would have been trapped in that car from the impact of it. It was pretty crazy. But that was I didn't deal with that at all. I left that completely up to the professionals, which is what you should really do anyway. I thought, I'm not going to touch, I'm not going to try and pull her or free her, because you never know what is actually happening behind the scenes, you know, behind you know, what appeared to be not that bad. She just appeared to be a little bit stuck, but you don't know, you know, there could be a piece of dashboard that's actually sort of impaled a little bit in her, and this isn't even, is it? That's going to really annoy me. I'm going to do it like this instead. And by you moving her, you could either pull it and tear something, you know, and do more damage, or if you pull something out of her, you might actually start the bleeding, because if there was something stuck in her, that might have been stopping the bleeding. So you could do more damage to him by trying to help. It sounds very sad, but it's just the way it is. But she seemed to make a full recovery. They got her out, they took her to hospital, and as far as I know, she's absolutely fine. So that's good to hear. Thank you for showing a bit of not appreciation, a bit of, you know what I mean. You know, I'm sure you guys know what I mean. I'm sounding quite strange now. But I did get a question in the comment section asking me about the other or about other accidents. Have you had any other accidents? And yes, I have had a lot of other accidents. I need another workbench. I'd like some more lights. I think I've got a workbench in here. I've had a lot of accidents here. You know, not me personally, but I've seen a lot of accidents around in front of my house. And the person in the comment section a few episodes ago wanted me to talk about some more. And I said at the time that because of the sort of average age of my audience, you know, I know that there's some very young ones, I know that there's some teenagers, I know that there's some adults, and I have to sort of tailor some of my stories to the age group. Obviously, I don't want to be talking about things that are not right for talking about to younger viewers, but it's a pretty important matter. You know, people aren't respecting the road. There's a lot of accidents going on. I know this. You know, I've had enough accidents outside. So maybe, you never know, maybe one of my stories, one of these stories, might actually make you think about it next time you think about speeding. I don't know. Maybe. Do you know what I mean? If you know, you've just passed your driving test, and I need some dirt. You've just passed your driving test, and you're thinking about, I don't know, doing a little bit of spin. You want to have a little bit of a race with your mate. Maybe you'll go, wait a minute. You know, AJ told us the story about his accident that he saw, and that person got pretty messed up, and I don't want to be messed up like that. You know, I don't want to get in an accident such as one of those. So I don't know, maybe it'll help. So I'm going to talk briefly about maybe one or two more. Where is where is the hallway? Not there. Not there. Not there. There's a hallway somewhere here, I know. Ah, there it is. I got confused then. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. So I'm going to talk about probably one of the worst ones. Oh, poop. Probably one of the worst accidents that we've had here. And I know it's not really for the audience that I have, but it's something that I want to talk about. So it was either just before I was born, or it was very shortly after I was born. There was a accident outside of the house involving our neighbours, and our neighbours have 2 boys, and they damn it, and they had just passed their bike test. Now motorbikes are very, very dangerous. I do like motorbikes. I haven't got a motorbike license. I've never really driven a bike, but I do like them. You know, my dad's got bikes, but they are obviously very, very dangerous. And to people that have just passed their test, they can be a little bit more dangerous, because people don't expect or don't appreciate how dangerous and how fast they can be. I need to invert that signal, don't I? What's the best way to do that? Like that. Probably like that. That's pretty messy. But, oops, not like that, in fact. That's pretty messy, but it'll do. Yeah. I don't appreciate how fast those machines can actually go, and I've got a few examples of that. But basically, they lived right next door to us, and they come off the bike. One of them came off the bike. Does that work? Why doesn't that work now? I swear that worked last episode. I was so confused last episode when that worked. Sorry about the story, guys. when I done it last episode on the last set of lights and it worked, I thought, well, that shouldn't work. That's so backwards. Yeah, look, and now it's not working. That is so weird. Would it work? Oops. Oh, poop. I want to get that back. Would it work here for whatever reason? Oops. Oh, I see. I've got the redstone on the wrong level. Oh, no. It is right then. I just had the redstone on the wrong level. Oh. I'll get there eventually. I'll get to this story, I promise. So they crashed. And it was right out in front of the house. And when they hit the ground very, very hard. In fact, they hit the ground so hard that his like leg bone, not his ankle bone, but like your thigh bone, you know, the main bit connecting to your bum, you know, that bone was actually sticking out. It went through the skin and was sticking out of the leg, which is obviously not very nice. And they still wanted to. The guy still tried to get up, and he was trying to walk. That's it. That's what I wanted. He was trying to get up, and he was trying to walk. And my parents were saying, you know, don't move. Whatever you do, don't move. You know that you are very, very badly injured. I'm gonna change this, I think. You know, you're very badly injured. Don't try and move. And they kept trying to. He kept trying to get up. He was in shock. Obviously, you don't realise when you're in that sort of situation. You don't realise how badly your damaged your body is. You know, you're in shock. You've come off your bike at some speed, or you've been hit at some speed, and you don't really realise that you're damaged. You know, you're in serious trouble. So he kept trying to get up, and in the end, my dad actually had to sit on him. And it sounds quite funny now when you think about it, but he actually had to just literally sit on his stomach to stop him from moving. You know, because the more he moved, the more damage he was going to do. And my mum is a nurse. She's still a nurse, and she tended to the other person. Whoops. And till the ambulance arrived and stuff like this. You know, I'm going back 20 odd years. But she ended up getting a certificate from the what do you call it? From the ambulance service, whatever you want to call it. It wasn't the NHS at the time, but you guys know what I mean. From like the medical place, hospital, whatever, and the police. For doing a good job, because she actually saved their lives. She does it pretty much on a daily basis. You know, she is a nurse with the NHS. She works with old people mostly in their home. So she saves a lot of lives. But she saved our neighbour's life after a very, very bad motorcycle accident, which is nice. And we've still got the certificate. I think the certificate is still hanging up. She's got a lot of certificates because she's done a lot of that sort of stuff in the past. But that was a good one. You know, that was a big accident, and luckily, in fact, I wasn't actually around to see that. That I remember, at least. Do you know what I mean? I was so young. I wanted to enchant a sword. I actually made this brand new diamond sword look, totally unused, and I got 32 levels from the Blaze farm, or 31, and then I got 32 from the redstone. It must have been. So yeah, we got to definitely do that. But yeah, you know, I really like bikes. There's nothing wrong with bikes. I want to make sure everybody understands that. You know, I'm not prejudiced against bikes. I like bikes. My dad's got 2 bikes. In fact, I'm actually named after a bike. You might not know. My name actually comes from my dad's first motorcycle, and his motorcycle was called the AJS. So that's just literally just an A, and then a J, and then an S. So that's why he called me AJ, but my name is obviously spelled AJAY, so it makes it a bit of a fuller name. There we go. Perfect. So it just makes it a little bit of a sort of a proper name, if you like. You know, AJ by itself, although it's a lot quicker, and I spell it just A and J most of the time, just out of speed to be able to type it and stuff like that when I'm trying to type my name. As far as like an actual sort of name goes, I don't think A and a J just on its own works that well. I like having the full name AJAY. It's actually also spelled in a French way. Not many people know that. Not even many of my friends know that. So yeah, it's spelled AJAY, but on top of the J it actually has like a little arrowhead. Very difficult to explain. I never use it. I think my mum does still. She spells it with the little funny J. Why do I do that? She spells it with the funny J, but I very, very rarely do. Well, I don't at all, in fact. I can never be bothered really to put it on, to put the little funny thing J thing on. I always did in school exams because I thought it made me look cool, but never was used for anything. Okay, I think we can actually save some redstone by just doing it like that, can't we? That should still light it all up. I'm pretty sure. Let's just do a double check. Whoop. There we go. Wonderful. Okay, let's not break the light. But yeah, so I'm not prejudiced against bikes. I do love them. The other bike my dad's got is actually a Harley Davidson, a big Harley Davidson Ultra Classic. Lovely bike. It's actually got armrests for the seat on the back. It's got speakers and a radio on it. It's even actually got a cigarette lighter, which is very strange. My dad doesn't smoke, so he doesn't use it. But yeah, a motorbike with a cigarette lighter. Very, very strange. But it's cool to be able to listen to music and stuff like that. This one we can't light up yet because we need to do an XOR gate, which we'll probably do next episode. I talked about it last episode, didn't I, about having an XOR gate to connect both of those levers up. But we'll do that next episode. But yeah, no, bikes are dangerous. I've lost 2 friends. I've actually lost 2 friends because of bikes. That's an XOR gate as well. But yeah, I've actually lost 2 people from biking accidents. The first one, or the one that's sort of most important to me, he was a good friend of mine, and he was in the military. He was a RAF, and he passed his bike test. He'd always been a massive bike fan, you know, bike fanatic. Really, really was. And he always said when we were at school, he would always say, when I pass my bike test, I'm getting an R1. And an R1, for those of you that don't know much about bikes, they are like the best bike, basically. Like, they are super powerful and super light. It's like the worst mix, really, for a new Where are these lights? It's like the worst mix for a new driver, for a new rider, to have a insanely powerful bike and no experience. And for a while, he was very, very sensible, and he wouldn't do anything silly. He was very respectful of the road, respectful of himself, respectful of the other road users, and once he sort of started getting some confidence, he started going a little bit faster and faster, which you can sort of understand. You know, he has basically I think it still is. I'm not 100% sure. Don't quote me on this. I'm not a huge bike fan. I like cars more. But as far as I know, it's the most powerfulest sort of power to weight ratioed bike that you can get like legally on the road, as far as I know. You know, as in standard bike, not as in like custom made bike or anything like that, all done up, but just standard bike. And it really was a beast. But if you read like reviews of these bikes online on the internet, every single review will say great bike, very fast, but the tail just swings out no matter like what speed you're going. You can be going so slow, you can be going 30 miles an hour. Did I do this room? No, I didn't. You can be doing like 30 miles an hour around like the slowest bend, and the tail will still come out. And that's just because of how light the bike is. That is going to be too dark, isn't it? Mobs are going to spawn there. And mobs are going to spawn there. We'll have to do some carpet lighting or something like that. This one. You have to go in here. But yeah, as he got his confidence up more and more, he actually ended up trying to push himself more and more, you know, trying to go faster, trying to do better. And that's never a good mix. That's never a good thing to do. Oh, am I really out of... I'm really out of blocks, aren't I? Okay. Whoops. That's never something that you really want to do. But let's go grab some blocks outside. I've got... No, I don't have a shovel. I've got a hiccup, so... And, he would go out onto what we call... I don't know if it's the same in America, but in England we call them B roads. So we have dual carriageways, which are obviously like 2 lanes. We have motorways, which are like 3 lanes on either side. I'm talking about like on either side of the road. So motorway has like 3, possibly 4 lanes on either side. You know, 3 going one way, 3 going the other. And then we have what's called a dual carriageway, which is 2 going one way and 2 going the other way. And then we have like a normal road, which we call an A road most of the time, which is just 1 lane going 1 lane one way, and 1 lane going the other way. And then we have what's called a B road. And a B road is like a country road. It's still a tarmac road, or still a concrete road, but it's very, very poorly maintained. Like, they don't repair it at all. So there's a lot of potholes. It's really damaged, really uneven. And also, I'll just explain to this for the people that don't know. But basically, let's say in Minecraft a car is 3 blocks wide, so a car would fit in between there. That's how wide a B road is. A B road is only as wide as 1 car, but yet another car can come from the other side. And on either side, on one side you might have a ditch like this. So you might have a ditch on one side, and on the other side you might have a hill, or you might have rocks, or you might have hedges, or you might have a row of trees. But literally there's only this space. So if you meet another car, you need to slow down, and you need to either carefully sort of slowly drive down a little bit of the ditch, or slowly drive up a little bit of the hill, or find a place that's slightly wider, and you really have to squeeze past. Like, it is deadly, deadly tight, awfully tight. I hate them. The reason why they have these sort of trenches and these hills is because there's like farmers' fields beside. You know, you're going straight through the middle of the countryside, and when it rains, obviously the farmers don't want the water staying on the field and making the crops too wet, so they dig these trenches out, so then the water runs off the field, runs into the trench, and then runs like down the hill and away. And it's the same with having a hill or a little bit of a mound. It comes off, but in this case the water just goes onto the road and then washes down the road instead of a ditch. And as I said, this is a a 3-block wide road, if you like. You know, I'm using Minecraft terms here. So your car's 3 wide, the road is 3 wide, and guess what the speed limit is? The speed limit is 60 miles an hour. That's like 80 kilometers an hour on a road that isn't any wider than your car, is bendy and twisty. You can meet other cars coming in the other opposite direction. Has a big old ditch one side, rocks, trees, hedges, and hills the other side. And the road is poorly maintained, full of potholes. And you've got a lot of wildlife. You know, in the UK we have a lot of deer and foxes that can jump out in front of you, and they'll damage your car. If you get hit by one of those, or if you hit one of those, your car's gonna come off worse than the deer. And that's honest, true. That will come off worse than the deer does. It'll damage your car extensely. So I mean, it's a silly rule there. 60 miles an hour down there, and he was getting a bit confident, and he was riding it, and he was sort of racing around these countries, because a lot of bikers do like to race around these roads because they're very twisty. They're very twisty, very hilly. They go up and down a lot, and he was just pushing himself. And from what we can tell, we don't know because no one was around, but what we can tell from the area is that as he was going around these corners way too fast, a deer came out in front of him. Like I was saying, we have a lot of deers in this area of England, and the deer came out. He couldn't stop in time, and he hit the deer. And obviously, if you're on a bike and you hit a deer, you're not going to come off well. And he was going, we approximate, probably touching 100 miles an hour, maybe even over 100 miles an hour, which is absolutely insanely fast for one of those roads. Damn it, I was so careful. Absolutely ridiculously fast for a road where you can't see around the corners. You can't see around any of the corners because the hills are so high, and the trees and the hedges and everything like that, so you can't see around anything. And he was just racing round it. He was going as fast as he could. A deer came out in front of him. He hit the deer, and he obliterated his bike and himself. He died at the scene. He died before anybody saw him or found him, and it was very upsetting. It was very upsetting for me and for my friends. We were sort of drinking buddies, really. Whenever there was a party going on, we were both there, and we would have a drink and a chat together. We didn't see each other, weekly or anything like that. But we were good friends, and it wasn't very nice. It's not nice to think that he was silly enough to do that. So I know bikes are very, very appetizing for new drivers, especially. When I was at school, a lot of people actually had peds and stuff like that. The little 30 mile an hour tiny little motorbikey things. Well, not even motorbikes, are they? But little mopeds. They really like them because obviously bikes are cool. They're really quick to accelerate, and you feel much freer. You've got the wind blowing through your hair and stuff like that. So it attracts a lot of young people, but those young people aren't experienced enough to be able to ride, especially at the speeds that they're going. You shouldn't ride at those speeds, even if you have 100 years experience. But still, it's just be careful, guys. I don't like it when we see on the news that people have been in an accident or there's been a fatality on the road or anything like that. So yeah, as I said at the beginning of the episode, the only reason why I told you those sort of stories is so hopefully you guys are a bit smarter in the future. If you can't drive and you're thinking about driving, you're going to be very, very careful. Hopefully you might sort of remember this story or these stories that I've told you, and it might change your mind. I never know. You never know. It would be nice to think that maybe at least one of you would heed this advice and be a little bit more careful on the road. Potentially. Whoops, I didn't want that block. Anyway, I've been chatting for way too long. We have, though, made some progress. Luckily, this episode. Hey, Cap. We have made some progress this episode. I still haven't done the grave, though. Should we do the grave? Have we got enough time? We are like half an hour in already. But we've got all the, or at least, I think all of the lights that don't require an XOR gate. I think we've done all of those. Yeah, I think we've done all the rooms that don't require an XOR gate. Obviously, we can't take all of the torches away yet, because we haven't got lighting all the way into the corner. We're going to have to use some bushes to cover up some lights, and we're going to have to use some carpets. Oh, let me enchant this sword as well. Let me get comfy. I'm so cold today. It's rainy and horrible outside, so I'm wearing this jacket. But it's a bit of a... Woohoo! That's an alright sword. Smite 4, Fire Aspect 2, Knockback 2. It would be nice to have some looting on it, but it's definitely better than this Smite 4, Knockback 2, or Smite 5, isn't it? It's Smite 5, Knockback 2. Could we combine those? It's probably way too expensive to combine. But if possible, that'll give us Smite 5 and Knockback 3, I think, won't it? I mean, there's no point combining it, but it's worth having a look very quickly. Too expensive. What about the other way round? Always check the other way round, you never know. There you go. See, it works the other way round. 32 levels, and that'll give us Smite for... What? Still Knockback 2? Knockback 2. Knockback 2. How come it doesn't put Smite 3, Knockback 3 on it? Knockback 2, yeah, Knockback 2. Knockback 2 should make Knockback 3. 4J, I found a glitch. Okay, let's just put this sword in here for now, that old one. Do we also have any looting? Any looting? Nope. No looting. I thought it might be worth putting the book onto the sword instead, but obviously not. Okay, let's just grab some soul sand quickly. But yeah, so let me guys know in the comment section below. I know, hopefully you guys aren't too depressed. I don't like having sad episodes, but it's an important conversation to have, isn't it? So let me know what you guys think about motorbikes in the comment section below, and about sort of not looking after yourself on the road, but respecting yourself, respecting the road, and respecting the other users. You know, personally, that torch isn't meant to be there, is it? No. I wonder how long that's been there for. You know, my personal opinion is that if you want to go fast, then track days are really, really cheap. Did we use this? I think we used cobblestone, didn't we, actually? I think we used cobblestone for the grave, or for the headstones. Oh, poop, wrong one. Yeah, I think we're going to use cobblestone. Cobblestone. It's there. Thank you. And a sign. But yeah, I personally think that, yeah, if you want to drive fast, then there's places to do that. You know, track days are super, super cheap to do. You know, you can even hire another car if you want to go fast. You know, you can go out there, you can hire a Ferrari for the day and do some laps in a Ferrari. You know, or you can get your own track day car and race around it yourself. But don't put yourself in risk, at risk, especially not other people at risk. You know, by racing on the public highway, you know, on the road. It's not clever. Nobody likes it. You know, nobody on the road. Like when I'm driving the car and someone comes past me at like 150 miles an hour, I don't think, oh wow, he's cool for driving fast. Yeah, that's cool. I wish I could do that. You know, I think, what an idiot. You know, what an absolute idiot for driving that fast. You know, people have kids in their cars and stuff like that, and it's, you know, you don't want to look like an idiot. And believe me, you do look like an idiot if you do that. I haven't bought a chest, but that doesn't matter. I should have bought a chest. So yeah, let me know. Let me know what you guys think about the whole situation and what this conversation has been like for you in the comment section below. It'd be interesting to know. Okay, so 1 million. Oops, that's not 1 million. 1 million annoying dogs. Annoying. Apparently, people were saying that you can plug your keyboard somehow into your controller, which would be cool. I should use smart glass. I have the option for smart glass. That would work, wouldn't it? 1 million annoying dogs. What episode was that? I think it was episode... It was either episode 59 or 61. Was it episode 60? I think it was episode 59. If I was wrong, I'll change it later. I apologise. Oh, I put a full episode, didn't I? Episode. I just want to make sure the signs are like relatively the same. Oh, that's not how you spell episode. Episode 59. And voice crack. And a quote to finish off with. I don't think we can fit stop teleporting, can we? Stop. I think it might be too long. Might be able to fit it in, actually. Stop teleporting. With an exclamation mark, even? Where's the exclamation mark? Exclamation mark. Close. There we go. So, we've got... Where was the beginning? Here it is. Poppy died, episode 13. Mind the lava. Shandy died, episode 19. Too far down. That was another full damage. That was lava. That was a full damage. This says full damage. Barkus, episode 19. Ralph died, episode 19. He hit the stone. And 1 million annoying dogs, episode 59. Stop teleporting. It didn't all fit in. Oh well, I might change it later. So yeah, it's getting there. Our graveyard cemetery is growing. Anyway, guys, we're going to leave it there. If you enjoyed it, hit the like button. If you haven't already, please subscribe. Next episode, we'll be getting on probably with some more of this. I've also got some clay, I think, downstairs, so I can do some more brickwork on the back that we never managed to do. And we shall see you then. Bye!